Hip Hop and Wrestling. How you doing? My name is VSOP.
Call me Nick Trav.
Night of Champions / the King and Queen of the Ring tournament, which technically I think that's what they should have called the entire event to begin with, because there was only 2 title defenses out of 6 matches. But
I mean, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, well, I did read the rumor. Even then, still, they could have threw another championship match up there. Even then, like, I think, you know, obviously Liv Morgan's injury, I think, threw wrench in the plan. I read that she was supposed to challenge EO at Night of Champions for the women's championship.
Right.
So, but they still could have done something with champions. You can call it Night of Champions, have more championship matches.
Tag team champions were just sitting there in the crowd being a spectator. They did the they did the women's US championship match on SmackDown. They did the women's IC title match on Raw.
They did the last woman standing match on SmackDown.
Right. So, like, I'm confused.
Get your branding together, WWE.
Exactly.
Get your ass out of here, Jack Perry.
But overall, it was an easy show to watch. You know, I got the recap of it, so we're going to go through the matches and, you know, just see what type of where are we going to go from here, because some seeds were planted and then some things were just left up in the air. But overall, if you were to grade the show out of on a scale to 5, what would you have given Night of Champions?
1 to 5. 3, average. It was an average show. Like, I wasn't blown away by anything, and it wasn't hard. Like you said, it was easy to watch. It wasn't like, this is so bad or boring. It was just, it was Night of Champions. You know what's fun? I don't know if it'll ever go away, but I feel weird about Saudi events. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel weird about watching them.
They have like this aura to them that I can't explain, but they always feel different.
You look in the crowd, it's just men. Like, you see spattering of women every now and again. Some of them might have their faces showing. Some are in the whole thing.
Right. Yeah.
And then it's just a bunch of boys and princes.
Yeah. And you can tell they're totally into the product. They love the product. They sing along. They're going crazy. They have that international energy that we like on the international pay-per-views. But I guess maybe it's just a culture thing. I don't know. But yeah, I'm with you. It's like 95% men. The women, they have to come. The WWE women, they have to come out, you know, in full bodysuits to respect their culture. I get it. They're doing a Royal Rumble there, and they're gonna have 30 women in the ring, all wearing those bodysuits. It's gonna be kind of weird, you know.
It's going to be quite weird to watch. But everybody's taking Saudi money right now. It's not even just WWE. Golfers have gone and done it. Soccer players have gone and done it. Like, it's a matter of time before the NFL and the NBA do it, in my opinion, as well. Like, everybody's gonna take that money.
Yeah, at some point. And I think that they're doing their best to remove any stigma that country has and say, hey, listen, we're not part of any of this other crazy shit that's going on in our surrounding neighbors. We want visitors to come. We want this to be a travel destination. You want, while you're up in Dubai, come down to Saudi as well. You know what I mean?
Riyadh.
To Riyadh, right? And they showed the way the city looks. It looks clean. The architecture looks beautiful.
I was talking to your brother last night, and we were sitting there watching it, and it was just like they were showing, like you said, they were showing the city, and it was just like this. John was like, "This looks like a futuristic, like Vegas."
Yeah.
And we were like, "Yeah, I bet it is fun as hell to go to." I don't know, something about it. Something's weird about it.
Yeah, well, you're not alone. I mean, our entire life, it's been attached to, you know, Warzone and Desert Storm and all these other things, right? This is what we grew up. This is what we were taught. So we really don't know any different. And then, of course, right now we have the tensions going on between us and overseas. Again, their surrounding neighbors. It has nothing to do with them.
They're next door to all that shit.
Next door to all of that, right? So
right.
it makes it hard to look at it as a vacation destination. All these shows hit a little bit different. And we had talked about it last time we connected on like, well, what has been a good show that they've done over there where we were able to look past the awkwardness. And I believe it was like last year's Crown Jewel. That was pretty good. Whichever
they're getting better.
They're getting better. The pay-per-view where Roman and Solo went against the Usos, that was good. King and the Queen of the Ring last year, led to some really big changes leading up to SummerSlam. So, I actually look forward to the Crown Jewel tournament. Royal Rumble, that's going to be interesting. And eventually, I think they're going to get their own version of WrestleMania. Kind of like, how they did the Greatest Royal Rumble and they had their own version of the Royal Rumble. They might have what I'm hearing, they might have their own version of WrestleMania, but not the WrestleMania, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, because the weird thing about I feel like they look at Royal Rumble as like, we can fill up Royal Rumble. They could probably fill up a arena there for WrestleMania, but I think they like having that really international flavor for WrestleMania in the sense that everybody from around the world goes to Saudi or comes to whatever city to see WrestleMania.
Right.
I think people will be less willing to go to a Saudi WrestleMania. Like they don't have a problem with filling up, a Royal Rumble arena full of people. But I think it would be, you're asking a lot to ask especially like the American fan is like the average American fan going to be like, yeah, I'm about to go to Saudi just for WrestleMania. Right.
Yeah. I think that's going to be a hard sell. It's probably going to have to be their own offshoot of it. Just a special event that might have the WrestleMania branding on top of it, but with another subtitle underneath it. Right. It won't be WrestleMania 43. Right. It'll be WrestleMania something. Maybe they'll do WrestleMania Backlash there. They used to have that tag,
Yeah, I was just about to say that same thing, like, because you remember how it was like 2 years ago, they were, I guess, trying to capitalize on the name WrestleMania. They were calling Backlash WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah.
It was just like, you don't need that. That's ugly.
Yeah.
But I could see them doing that in Saudi again, or if they wanted to.
I like that they did. I mean, with the stage, they did a good job with the stage. They gave it a huge, big,
great.
a big feel. Thought it looked.
The arena looked dope. Like they had like even like on the other side of the ring, they had like these video pillars and stuff. It looked cool.
Yeah. It looked cool.
Like everything in Saudi looks cool. Don't get me wrong. Like it's just a matter of me. Am I going?
Yeah. Oh no.
Do I feel comfortable?
Again, there's the overarching stigma tied to it. Unfortunately, you know what I mean. Let's go ahead and get into the show itself. So you said 3 out of 5.
Yeah, average. It wasn't, like I said, it didn't do that much for me, but I ain't hate it. It was just like, okay.
Yeah, I give it a 3 out of 5 too. I give it 3 out of 5. It wasn't bad and it wasn't great, but it was good enough.
Here's the problem though, Kerry. Most of their pay-per-views or PLEs are 3 out of 5.
I agree.
Like you can count everyone is like a 3 out of 5. Everyone is average as hell. It's like I never feel like, oh, you did, because they don't have many surprises anymore. Well, we'll get into this. We can start and go wherever, because I'm sure I can bring up my point as we go along.
Oh, 100%. This was, although some of my predictions that I did before the show were wrong, the safe bets were still the safe bets. And they typically play it safe on, I don't tune into WWE PLEs expecting anything incredibly shocking. The most shocking thing was Elimination Chamber this year with the Cena heel turn. That was probably the most, we predicted that was coming, but still didn't see it coming until it actually happened. That was probably the biggest thing. And I think they're major pay-per-views, the ones like the signatures, like Money in the Bank. Typically, I would say that's above average most of the time because of the gimmick. Royal Rumble is probably my favorite, so I would say that's above average. WrestleMania, above average. SummerSlam, that's left to be determined this year, depending on how they do this 2-night extravaganza thing. And the War Games is just a match I look forward to, but nothing really else on that show matters. Then all in between, 3 out of 5. If they go overseas for a show, we appreciate the crowd, that energy. But in terms of what they're doing, performing, storyline progression, surprises, shocks, turns, you don't get a lot of it. And then from a pure wrestling bell-to-bell ring action, they're not going to match up to an AEW pay-per-view in terms of action. They try to make up for it in terms of like emotion and storytelling. So it's just one of those things. I'm just happy that I watch everything. If it was like back in the day when I actually had to fork out money to Time Warner Cable to buy all these pay-per-views, I would think twice, for sure. For sure. Especially today. I would not, because today, back then they were like $20, then they went to $30, then they went to $40. Now those pay-per-views would probably cost $70 or $80 if you were to compare it to the way that WWE charges for tickets to go to the show. So I would think twice for sure. But since they
probably be $80, because like I want to say the last UFC pay-per-view that I thought about buying was like $80-$90. So I bet WWE would be trying to charge you that.
Oh, and since they're under the same umbrella, for sure, that's definitely what they're going to charge. All right, let's go ahead and get to the first match. We had Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton in the King of the Ring finals, with Cody Rhodes actually getting the victory, which is pretty much what everybody predicted. Once he beat Jey Uso, which I was hoping it was going to be like Jey Uso versus Sami in the final. That would have been a great story.
We talked about that last time I was on. Like, that was the more like, in my opinion, emotionally charged, like better story to tell, but they went with this one. So it's fine.
Yeah. And
it was fine.
Yeah, it was fine. They started the match slowly with some technical grappling, but the story really kicked in when Orton hit that superplex off the top rope and started selling the back. But then that became Cody's target, and he started working it back for the most of the match. And anytime that Randy Orton had a flurry of offense, he would sell the back, which was good. And if you notice, the crowd was starting to boo some of Cody. When Cody was getting the heat, some of the crowd was starting to boo him. Not like crazy boos, but at least you can notice it. Audibly, you can notice it.
It was a pro-Randy crowd.
It was definitely a pro-Randy crowd. Orton landed an RKO out of nowhere for a 2 count. Teased the punt kick. He teased the punt kick and then thought twice. Then he's like, fuck it, I'm going to go for it anyway. But then Cody ducked that, got out the way. And then Cody went for another Cody cutter. And this was pretty cool when Orton hit that until hit an RKO out of midair with that. That was pretty cool. Orton went out to ringside to grab a chair. Got the chair. Of course, the ref saw it, tried to take it away from him. Old school heel tactic, went to the turnbuckle, tried to take off the turnbuckle pad, and then rammed Cody into it, but it backfired. Cody ran Orton into it, ribs first, got the crossroads, got the pin. Randy hesitated when he could have took him out early, fell for his own trap, and got the loss. And he was looking pretty pissed when the match was over. I mean, he was out there for a long time before he actually went to the back. Cody gave Randy Orton his props and then held the crown up high, and here we are, our safe bet of a king of the ring for 2025. What did you think about the match itself?
The match itself was fine. I was entertained by it. They, at the same time, they talked out of two sides of their mouth in the match, like with the build up and the match. Like Randy was like, "There's nothing I won't do to win the title." Then, like you said, he hesitated on the punt kick. It was like, "Why?" You said there's nothing you wouldn't do, no line you wouldn't cross.
Right.
And then he goes to get the chair. And then it's like, why didn't you just punt him earlier?
Right.
Like I said, it was a good match. I'm not disappointed. Like two vets that know what they're doing, and Cody's Cody, and he's. I don't know. I don't really have so much to say about this match. Like it gave me exactly what I knew it was going to give me.
Yeah.
It was good. And Cody won, and I knew Cody was going to win. Right. I was kind of seeing like, will they let Randy win? Like, what story do they want to tell? But I figured Cody was going to win, and that's exactly what happened.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Like, out of the 4 men who were in the semifinals, do you think Cody was the right choice?
No.
Who was the right choice ultimately to you?
Sami.
Right.
Because I think King of the Ring should be a launch pad not I'm already here.
Right.
Like Cody ain't need King of the Ring. He still could have got his shot at SummerSlam. He just pinned John Cena at Money in the Bank. He could have had his match at SummerSlam.
Right.
Still.
Right.
But
because at the end of the day, even with WrestleMania, the Rumble, Elimination Chamber, both titles are going to be defended. Question is, how do you get into contention to go for it? So yeah, as you mentioned, Cody did get a pin months ago at Money in the Bank. He could have just
used to use this excuse all the time. Excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Right, they use this excuse all the time. I pinned the champion, so that puts me in line for a title shot.
Exactly.
They do
like
it all the
they
time.
used to use it like fucking clockwork.
Right.
Like even the champion getting pinned on like a Raw. It'd be a Raw. Champion gets pinned. Oh, I get a title shot next week. It'd be like, oh, okay.
Did you hear? I don't know if you heard this. Cody at one of the fan events, he had mentioned that his face run is coming to an end, and I was wondering, does it have to? And do you think it should?
Well, here's the way I feel about it. Like, I want to see Cody go heel just because I like heels though. Like, so I mean, and then there's certain people I'm like, I get really bored with their face act, right? Like, because the WWE face is like, hey, I do anything. I work hard. I fight hard. Take your vitamins. It's just like, shut your ass up after a while. So that's Cody as well. It's just like, yeah, he's just like too polished. So it's just like whenever you turn, like even Randy right now, Randy's a good face because he's not like, oh yeah, I'm here to save the day face. Right. Randy's just like, I'm enjoying this last however long I got. I mean, I know I'm in my 40s now. Like he doesn't try to be like too good of a guy. Like, because the fact is people are flawed. I don't want to see people that are always just fucking good. Right. And that's what Cody is right now. Right. So it's not that I want to see him in his face run because he is a good face. It's just I'm tired of the super clean, super like, oh man, I do it for the kids.
Right. No, because I remember, if you recall, internet rumblings was that Rock originally wanted Cody to turn heel. And it was like, nah. Then Cena was like, okay, I'll do it. And in both cases, Cena, why didn't you do that like 10 years ago? And then in case of Cody, considering doing it now, why didn't you do it when you were in AEW, when you could have capitalized on the real heat that you were getting? Because they were booing you and your wife every week for whatever reason, I don't know, but they were. But you refused to like get that edge and turn heel, which we know he's capable of doing. But right now, you are a hot baby face, like old school, like that. Like the fans haven't turned on you yet. Possibly it could be because of how the kids love you. Maybe. I mean, we had the Cody Crybaby campaign that The Rock was doing, the whole Final Boss thing. Cody's very sympathetic, right? He comes out in the suits. Like the fans haven't turned on him yet, and it's been 3 years. So it's like, well, should you ride the wave or should you try something different? And if you are going to try something different, well, who's going to take his place? Jey Uso? You're going to need a few more than that. You're going to need more people.
Yeah, Cody's in a weird spot because he is the biggest face, but also at the same time, like every now and again, you do hear the spattering of blues. So it does make sense that if he turns face, it's just like, oh, you don't like me now for what? Like he could easily like turn face or turn heel and have like a reason. Like you're booing me? What are you booing me for?
Right.
Fuck y'all then. I'm out. I'm out to be heel. Like that makes sense.
Right.
But I don't know. It's like you said, but he's still the most popular face at the same time.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you do that. Everybody, like the whole full arenas are singing his song every time he comes to the ring.
Right.
Going, oh, but I mean, it's also today's WWE where it's just like, it doesn't matter if you are heel or face or not. People, you're going to get cheered if people like you. which is cool.
Yeah. I
mean,
it's cool. Evident. It's evident in this Cena run right now. He's starting to get more cheers than boos with every appearance. I'm of the opinion that we just need to have the heat of wanting to see two competitors go at it for whatever reason, right? There's some people like a Don Callis who's just great at being the bad guy that we genuinely don't like with no redeeming quality, right? And then there's like Aleister Black who's like he's cool. He can be a heel, but he's cool, so we kind of want to cheer him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't believe that Roman Reigns is either a good or a bad guy. He's still the same asshole that he was. He's just not bullying his family around anymore.
Right. And it's funny, like even you think about like probably two of the most hated people in WWE, Paul Heyman and Dom Mysterio, they get cheered now.
Yeah.
So it's just like, if you really want to be a heel, even Seth Rollins, this is a heel group he's in charge of. The problem that they're having though is that none of them are being just like, you got to be dastardly. And that's like, I don't know if that's just like a mandate from WWE or whatever. Like, we don't want to have you doing like super bad stuff, but you got to be a dastardly, like just an evil dude. Like even to build up to WrestleMania 40, Rock was doing some stuff to Cody, beat his ass with that belt, left bloody. Like heels need to be doing that. Like even like the Street Profits, like I don't know if they're heel or face.
Right.
I don't know if the Y6 are heel or face because they stand in the heel corner but like y'all got to just start like beating people down, like dastardly stuff. Make people be like, oh, those are bad guys. Those are like, you might still like them, but I understand that this is a bad guy.
100%. There needs to be a clear distinction on where they stand. If Seth Rollins is coming out to one of the more popular theme songs, the fans are still going to cheer along with it. So you can't turn around and then cut a promo, like his promo on Monday, which I thought was excellent, saying, hey, you guys don't even know what you want. One minute you're this, 1 minute you're that.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, Seth, if you're trying to go full dastardly, you're going to have to change your music or something. Something has to change. When Braun Breaker starts spearing people, they're going to bark anyway. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a clear defined good guy or bad guy, but if you're going to be, you're going to have to make some changes to get people to not cheer for you or sing along with your song or buy your shirt, or at least let that reduce by a considerable, measurable percentage.
So the rumor is they're going to change his music, which is probably for the best. People are singing along with it. As far as like, but like you gotta do shit to make people be like, oh, like I can't cheer for that. He just fucking I don't know.
Beat up Jey Uso's son.
I don't know what WWE will like allow for a bad guy to do to a good guy, because in the Attitude Era it was clear, like they did shit to one another. You were like, that's terrible. When Rock beat the shit out of Mankind with that chair,
total heel.
In Royal Rumble, that's heel moves right there.
Total heel.
You got to dig in and be a heel. Like I love Carmelo, but Carmelo's a full heel. He talks shit. And that's enough right now for him to be a heel.
Yeah. Cocky, arrogant, talks trash, no alliances. He's cool and exciting in the ring. Fun to watch, clearly great, but not fun enough to where the fans want to hop on the Carmelo wagon. Now, possibly him and Miz could have been the one to kind of catapult him there, because ultimately he will go there. But right now, it's building his character. I mean, I think every superstar should be a heel at some point, because it helps to, like Liv Morgan, when she comes back, depending on what they do in the background with the Judgment Day storyline, she's probably going to be a face. Most likely. I would prefer for her not to be, but I think Roxanne's going to become the new Liv while she's gone. And
fans be glad to have her back. That's the other thing. Like whenever you come back from an injury, fans be like, "Yes, you're back," and it's just like, well, it's hard to, but people don't come back doing dastardly shit anymore.
That's the first thing I would do. Like when Kevin Owens comes back, although it's probably going to be like next year, but when he does, if Randy Orton is around, they got to finish that, or they don't. It really depends. It's just the wrestling world, and they got to go where the business goes, but I think they should just follow the heat. Follow what the crowd is saying, or if you want to have everybody be on their own island, different alliances. You know, what was that? What was that movie, Twilight? Team Edgar, Team somebody else, or whatever?
Edward. Team Edward and Team Jacob.
Right. They were two good guys, but they had clear divides in terms of their fan base, right? And you got the social media voice and you got the crowd voice. And if people want to boo somebody, they don't necessarily need to pull the trigger and turn them heel. Maybe they just like that person's opponent better, a la Cody and Randy in this particular match. Doesn't mean that Cody needs to ride the heel wave or look at the crowd and feel like he's betrayed. Like, no, understand that. I'm going to beat up some people that you do like. I'm going to beat up some people you don't like. Ultimately, I'm trying to be the top dog. So,
like, it's one of those things, like you were just saying, like it's maybe they don't need to define who they are as heel or face, because the wrestling audience is too smart now. Or it's like we understand what they're doing. We understand what a heel and a face is. So maybe it is just like, you know, are you an arrogant person? Do you like an arrogant person as a fan? Or whatever, or do you like somebody's message? Like, what do you, like you said, what do you got? Who do you got to go through? Or am I saying like, okay, if you're a Randy fan, I don't even want you cheering for me. Something like that. Like, don't sing my song if you Seth, because you like CM Punk.
Right.
All you people trying to CM Punk, don't sing my shit.
Right.
But for everybody else, yeah, y'all can still sing it. The
fans are going to be the ultimate determining factor of who is and who isn't. Like Chad Gable. Chad Gable is clearly a heel, an entertaining one, but still nowhere teetering on becoming popular.
Right.
But he has been a face before. So when he decides he wants to flip that switch, because he's out injured as well, they can do so. I heard another podcaster last night predicting that CM Punk's going to turn heel. Now I'm thinking to myself, that's the wrong thing to do as well. Your top faces are Jay Uso, CM Punk, and Cody Rhodes, and Randy Orton at this moment. Can you think of any other honorable mentions? Sami Zayn.
And then as far as Roman when he's around.
When Roman's around.
But yeah, outside of that, those are the top faces. Those are the guys that get people out of their seats. Yeah.
Yeah. So and Seth was one.
LA Knight.
Oh yeah. LA Knight. Yeah. Which, you know, they're not doing the right thing with him at the moment. But
even in Saudi yet, apparently.
No sign of LA. I think the seeds planted for Orton to turn heel are there, or maybe not. I mean, I think
the seeds for both to turn heel were there.
I guess they just need to have a good backup plan for who's going to carry the company on a face side. Because keep in mind, there's still the kids. The kids' influence. Like, one of my favorite things, I've said this multiple times, is when Jay comes through the crowd and, you know, he's doing the wave with the kids. Like, something they'll probably remember for the rest of their life.
Mm-hmm. Some of them going to become wrestlers because of it.
Right. And then the moment he turns heel, if he does, all those kids, I mean, granted, the kids are older, they really won't care, but the young kids will care, and those merchandise sales will drop, and that affects the overall bottom line. So they got to figure out a way to keep that wheel moving, right? You're sacrificing a lot of merchandise to turn someone as popular as a Cody bad. Christmases, you know what I'm saying? Christmas gifts and things like that. I don't know. However, as a fan, as a viewer, I'm always down to see something different and something new. Just give me something different, so I'll accept it. I'm hesitant on whether you should do it or not, but I don't run the company. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. Just make sure you do it right and do it for the right amount of time. because at some point they got to turn Cena back, which is cool in this case since this is the last year. But had this not been the last year, let this play out for a year or two, before you finally do it. Like milk it as much as you can until you can have that brand new baby face. Because once Randy's gone, once Cody's gone, like who's it going to be? I don't know. Cody was the predictable win, the safe win. Do you think Orton still has a championship run left in him?
Yeah. Especially if he's really not. Hey, let him talk about it. He's not retiring no time soon. So yeah, he's like you said, he's just as popular right now. Like everybody's singing a song in every arena. Mm-hmm. Like his pops are bigger than I ever remember in his career being. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he's definitely gonna be champion. I would say I wouldn't be surprised if he gets it sometime next year. I wouldn't say this year, but next year maybe.
The undisputed title or the world heavyweight title?
Either,
because they both count. They both count as world championship runs. Yeah,
he can do the big belt, or he could do just the raw belt. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
they better tread lightly on how they choose to do that. So Cody, I guess he's going to go after John Cena at SummerSlam. Do you think that Cody do you think this is when they're going to get the title off of Cena?
Well, that whole Money in the Bank thing has me. We'll see how that works out. But because I don't know if I had a chance, but I don't think Naomi or Seth are holding their briefcases too much longer. Past SummerSlam for either, really. That's my prediction.
Okay. So Gold, I don't know if you saw this, Gold had predicted that Seth was going to cash in whenever Cena whenever Cena and Cody face off. They'll both be incapacitated, and then Seth's going to come down, cash in, and get the title. Which sounds...
Well, me and Gold kind of had the same idea, especially since we'll get to it, but they teased the same instance last night in Night of Champions with CM Punk. So something's happening.
Something is happening, absolutely. Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight, in a very fun match. I would say this is probably
my match of the night.
My match of the night, yeah. I really enjoyed this. Now, you said these two, because I didn't watch the NXT Black and Gold era, you said these two had an amazing feud there, correct?
Michael Cole mentioned it. Even watching Night of Champions, he was like, back in 2021, these two had a great last woman standing match where Raquel walked away from it. But Raquel hasn't beat Rhea since. Okay. I was like, yeah, that shit was fire then. Like, these two have great chemistry, in-ring chemistry, and they work well together, and they proved it again last night.
100%.
This is the Raquel I like. I like when she's like a dominant badass. Like when she first went to WWE, when she was smiling, doing the back thing, and
doing a back shit.
It was just like, get the fuck out of here. I don't want to see that. But now she's really like she's dug in with the Judgment Day. Now she doesn't have necessarily live in front of her right now, as being the face, being her face. She's kind of like not La Primera. That's Stephanie Bakira. I forget what she calls herself, but yeah, Raquel's dope, man. Yeah. She just got to get the right opportunities, and last night was a great showcase for her.
100%. I think this is the best that Raquel's looked, probably since her return from injury.
Like she was handling Rhea, right?
Yeah.
Handling Rhea.
It was really good.
Tossing her around, making Rhea look small, which is rare.
Right.
So Raquel looked great and did great.
Yeah, it was a good showcase. I had predicted that Raquel was going to win. But I predicted shenanigans from Roxanne Perez, which did happen, but unfortunately they didn't result in a victory for Raquel. But they started up.
Power bomb.
Yeah. Raquel hit her with that kendo stick when she had her tied up into the ropes. That was pretty cool. So I thought
everything they did looked fantastic.
Yeah. Threw him into the steps, cleared the announce table. She put the hood of the announce table and wedged it, and I was like, okay, are you really going to hit a suplex off the announce table into that cover? And they didn't, but she got powerbombed through it, and it was crunchy.
That's the powerbomb I was talking about. Like that powerbomb looked great. Rhea, I thought Rhea hit her head.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was like, check on her right now. Make sure we ain't got to throw up the X because that looked, but it was great. It was a great spot. So, yeah. So then she set up the table in the ring. Raquel, that is, set up the table in the ring. So glad it did not have the Slim Jim logo on it. Thankfully,
because they probably can't sell Slim Jim in Saudi.
Probably not. Probably not. Let's see. So then Rhea was lashing Raquel with her belt. The crowd was going crazy for that. Hit that big razor's edge on Raquel. Rhea is strong as shit.
That looked crazy.
Yeah, that looked great. That looked really good.
She landed high on her shoulders too. I was like, oh shit, y'all be careful now. But like I said, great chemistry between these two. These two never fail.
I would love to see them continue this going on. So once Rhea got Raquel into the prism trap, that's when Roxanne jumped in. But that didn't last long. Rhea got her on the outside, gave her a suplex on the floor, put the trash can on her head. And I thought she was going to grab the kendo stick and start like just pounding it with the kendo stick. But instead, she just hit her sliding kick. And then she got her on top of that wedge table. It looked very imbalanced. I was like, please don't fuck this up. Yeah. Did her riptide off the wedge table. That looked amazing.
Looked great.
It looked great. That was a nice, brutal, creative match. So that definitely was my match of the night, and I will give that match a 5 out of 5. At some point, Rhea is going to get back into the title mix. The question is, which title does she want to go after? Does she want to go back after Io, get in the mix with Io again? Liv is gone, so we got to find someone to do it. Or is she still going to be messing around with the Judgment Day? She's going to feud with Roxanne Perez. Like, what do you see happening between now and SummerSlam for Rhea Ripley?
I guess she has to go after Io. I mean, because Roxanne is just about to just join Raquel and defend those tag titles. I feel like. So yeah, I feel like that's probably the best move. Like, well, they got to do whatever they're gonna do with Evolution. So, but yeah, I think best for Rhea is just get back in the title picture.
Right.
And that's to get, and then she still has to beat Io. She's technically still hasn't beat Io.
Right. Right. So you brought up a good point of Evolution, right? So, the Nikki Bella Liv feud has been scrapped. So I guess maybe Evolution would be the place for Io Rhea. Maybe they have some type of number one contendership tournament, 3-way, 4-way or something to determine that. Io doesn't have beef with anyone else that I can think of.
No, Io has been on the biggest block of ice since WrestleMania. It's kind of crazy. You just literally had, like, the crowd goes crazy for her. Y'all had her in one of the best matches the whole WrestleMania weekend.
Yep.
And she's literally done nothing. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, she got Liv got hurt, and that fucked with some plans. But still, yeah, it's just this. She has done basically nothing.
Yeah, not much at all.
For 2 months.
We definitely got to take us.
April. Yeah, 2 months just chilling.
We're going to have to reevaluate the whole women's division at some point because even with the IC title, it's just 3 women involved in that. Bayley, Becky, and Lyra. Now,
I appreciate that story being told. Like, they're telling a story, fine. You don't need to involve too many different cooks in that kitchen. And then they just had the U.S. title. But even the U.S. title, like, Zelina was fighting her the Secret Herbalist for like 2 months straight.
Right.
And then even like this Julia jumped her once, talked shit to her a couple times, jumped her, and then now she's champ. Like, that was a quick little build up and crowning of a champ, but okay. But yeah, it's just they just have trouble. WWE has trouble focusing. But I think that's all these wrestling organizations. Like, they don't know. Sometimes, like, man, how do we, focus and make this champion look good and cool? And then, all right, then they just lose focus. We made them look cool. We're going to lose focus. We try to think about this, and we lost focus. We got to think about this. It's just like, all right. So,
needless to say, great match. They got 2 weeks to get Evolution built up. Right now,
too many shows.
So what?
Too many shows.
Yeah, 100%. Too many shows. An already stacked weekend. They got 3 shows, and the only thing that's been determined that I know of is JC Jane versus who?
Jordan Grace.
Jordan Grace, JC Jane. Okay, that's one. Goldberg and Gunther on main event, and nothing else that I know of.
And they still have they have Great American Bash that weekend for NXT. They gotta build that in the next 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So yeah,
it's
a lot.
2 weeks.
Too many shows.
Too many shows, but then they'll have a decent break, I guess, until SummerSlam, or at least 3 to 4 weeks, I guess, until SummerSlam. But they need to start working on that now. They need to start. That's 2 nights.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I feel like WrestleMania was in April.
Yep.
I feel like they've had like 8 shows since Mania.
It feels like it.
Am I tripping?
They've had a lot of shows since Mania. I'm trying to think. They definitely had a Saturday night's main event.
Or put it at not 8 shows from now. I guess by the end of 2 weeks from now, it'll be like 8 shows or something like that. Something like that. Like you said, it's been like, have been 2 Saturday night main event, Evolution, Night of Champions. They've had Backlash. What else did they do in St. Louis? They did something for NXT in St. Louis. They had Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank.
Yep.
So yeah, that's 8 shows that since Mania.
Upcoming right now, they got Great American Bash, Saturday night's main event, Evolution, SummerSlam Saturday, and SummerSlam Sunday. And then that's the weekend of August 3rd. Then they got Clash of Paris at the end of August.
Even that, 2 shows in August after a 2-nighter for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Like, why is SummerSlam so early? SummerSlam used to be late August.
I guess to make room for their international schedule, I guess. There's a lot of shows and not a lot of room to let things grow and blossom. It's kind of like they just throw it together, and what could be something big and big money making, they just give it to us. Similar to this whole Punk Cena match. Now, granted, they put in a lot of effort in the promos leading up to it, but I would have much appreciated a 6 to 7 week like WrestleMania type build for that. But that's the old school fan in me. Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. So Karrion Kross got a pay-per-view PLE match in 2025.
Random as fuck.
Random as hell. And it's weird to me because I still don't understand what the end game is. You don't understand what the end game is, but I was just happy to see him on television do his full entrance, which is still cool. His entrance is still cool as hell.
So I was watching with John. He was like, you know how when Scarlet goes away and it goes from black and white to red lights and stuff? Uh-huh. John was like, that was cool as hell.
Yeah.
And I was like, it is cool as hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I hate the position Kross is in because, like, don't get me wrong, I'd love to see him wrestle Sami, but it's like you put him in such. People want to see him succeed right now because he's not doing anything, right?
Right.
Or he's talking all the shit in the back, and then like people, the reason he got this match because of his upswell of support on the internet. Mm-hmm. But then the first thing you do is you put him in this feud with Sami Zayn, and you know he's not going to win against Sami Zayn,
right?
In this PLE match, it's like you're not going to beat this guy, like unless you're going to have him win,
right?
But you didn't. You decided not to have him win. You had him lose. Like, so why is he even talking to Sami? He should be talking to the motherfuckers that he can beat.
Right. He should be out here squashing, getting some victories. Like really. Like,
so you put him on TV to lose?
Right.
This is why we don't have him wrestling in matches because he loses. Like, that's what you told me.
You put him in put him in a no-win situation because Sami can't, if Sami's still questing to get a world championship, he can't lose to Karrion Kross, who's been taunting him in the back. It's just more losses on Sami, that Sami needs some momentum. And I'm like, well, is this?
Right. Sami already loses. Like, there's tears.
Right. Right.
If Sami's up here, he loses to dudes right here.
Right.
He can't lose to this guy.
Correct.
You know?
Correct. Yeah, they haven't did that just goes to show they haven't done a good job of just pushing Karrion Kross to begin with. Although he's interesting, he's intriguing, but even his AJ feud was like a 1-match feud done.
where he lost.
He lost
because he shouldn't have been fighting AJ.
Should not have been fighting AJ. Right. He needs to be, which is crazy because 2 years ago, Karrion Kross was beating Drew McIntyre. What in the world?
Yeah.
What in the world?
He's beating Shinsuke. He's beating Rey Mysterio. What, did he beat Rey? I don't think he beat Rey. He didn't beat Rey.
I can't recall.
Either way, beat up the LWO.
Mm-hmm.
Beat up Otis and Tozawa.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sow some discord between them.
Mm-hmm.
Beat up, I don't know, other people that people don't care about. Where's Apollo Crews at? Does he still work for the company?
He's hurt.
Beat him up. Beat him up. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. He needs to be out here squashing people, getting his finish over, getting that entrance over, because the entrance is the most over thing. Like,
right. The entrance is over. And then that was my other problem last night, because you said getting his finish over. Like, they mentioned his finisher, the Saito suplex, which is a cool fucking suplex because he dropping dudes on their heads.
Right.
Like, get that over. Get over the crosshair. He needs to be doing this on fucking Raw, not doing it to Sammy and not getting the pin with it.
Right. He should have.
You're telling me it's his finisher, but he's not finishing.
Right. Like how's it even a near fall when you ain't been beating nobody? You're not even teasing a near fall whatsoever. You should be running out, interrupting matches, hitting that move, putting people out on the shelf or something like that. I mean, again, Karrion Kross is a great talent. Now, one thing I did notice in this match itself, and the match was cool, 3 out of 5 I would give it. It was like a TV match. But Karrion Kross, I noticed when he was on NXT, when I saw him on NXT, he was kind of like the big man. He was NXT big.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So he wrestled like he was fucking Big Bill or some shit, slow and plodding. And now he was doing the same thing with Sammy in this match. Very slow. He didn't do a lot offensively. Not much.
Like, I was like, where are your cool moves at?
Right. He wasn't doing much at all. Like, I'm sitting here looking at my notes. He hit that exploder, which looked cool. He hit a Death Valley driver. That looked pretty cool. Hit a couple of some snap German suplexes, but that was late into the match. The cross jacket, that sleeper it's not over because he's not putting nobody down with the cross jacket. Cool name, though, but not putting anybody down with it. And he had 2 big corner clotheslines. He was talking some shit. After he went for that third clothesline, Sammy just followed him into the other corner, hit the haluva kick, and it was a wrap. It was a Raw match. It was a Raw match.
It's one of those things, just like, y'all put him on the pay-per-view because he has his support from the internet. The internet doesn't want to see him on TV just to lose. They want to see him on TV and it's not even that the internet is supporting him because, they think he should be here. I feel like the internet is supporting him because they're like, I think he's cool and I want to see more. Y'all keep showing me these promos where he's in the back being cool, being interesting, but then you put him in the ring and he's not. So like, it's a weird thing.
He has all he has all the makings of a cool superstar. Maybe they should turn him face or something. Maybe give that a try. He's been a heel his entire run, correct? NXT to now, he's always been a heel, right? Maybe try something different, but something to get this man over. But he does a good job of being a psycho. He has the look, the facial expressions. He can talk. He has the build. Got the entrance.
The hot, crazy wife.
Got the hot wife. Got the moves. He has the total package, but they're not doing anything with him. They got to figure that out. We shouldn't be figuring that out for him. They got to figure that out. Was this just a filler match? Like, is this feud over or does it continue? Like, what do we do now?
I hope it's over.
You hope it's over?
I hope it's over. I want to see, for one, I want to see Sammy get some wins on people that matter. And then for Kerry, I want to see him get some wins on people that don't matter. Vice versa.
Right.
I need to just see him on TV, like beating people, somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we want to pay close attention because, with all those releases, and Karrion did get released back in the day, but I think he's a good talent that you don't want to let go. But if you're not doing nothing with him.
You know what? And I don't even want to like bury Sheamus or nothing like that, but he should like beef with Sheamus and probably beat Sheamus in a feud.
You know what? Boom. There we go. Now that's an idea right there. Feud with Sheamus, or get in a triangle with Sheamus and Rusev and just have this big ass mean guy feud. Get in some mean guy matches. He should have been in that damn King of the Ring tournament. That's what he should have been, because a lot of stars were in there. He should have been in like one of those 4 ways that Punk was in. I could imagine Karrion Kross and Punk having a feud. That would be dope.
Right. And you know, it's like you were saying, he could have a feud against these bigger guys and lose, but it's like, I think people want to see him in the ring.
Yeah, see him wrestle. I don't know. This is one of those just unsolved mysteries. Well, the most important thing is going to be to follow up tomorrow night. If there's
thought about it. I looked it up. Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne are Raw superstars. They ain't doing nothing. Have them beef with them.
There you go.
Like there's so much to be doing with him.
Have them beat them up. Have them beat up Dragon Lee.
In the LWO. Tozawa and Otis. Yeah.
Like if I was to pull up that King of the Ring bracket, we could probably find a lot of people for him to get in the mix with and beat without the other person being hurt. But he's definitely in rehab territory. They got to rehab him. This shenanigan-filled match right here. Now, I had picked Jacob Fatu to win, but no, his United States Championship reign has come to an end to his cousin, Solo Sikoa, and another member of the bloodline, Hikuleo, joining. And what did you think about the match itself?
The match itself was, I was thinking about this the other day with Solo. Solo's a great wrestler. I love Solo.
Mm-hmm.
Since he's gotten to be on his own, though, he does that, plotting WWE style. So it's like whatever. If Solo's going to lead these guys, he needs to get cooler though, as far as like his body. I don't know. There's something about as much as I like Solo, there's something about him now. Just so like even Jeff Cobb, I'm like, Jeff Cobb's cooler than him, but he works as like as muscle better than Jacob worked as muscle though.
Right.
Whereas like Jeff Cobb or JC Mateo don't got to say much compared to, like I'm cool with him just being like, I'm here and I smash dudes.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But as far as the match though, it was a good match. Like you said, 3 out of 5. Like Jacob's phenomenal. That fucking twist out of the ring. Jacob's phenomenal. I guess getting into it, like you said, Hikuleo finally made his debut, joined Solo. Solo needs to name his group.
Yeah.
And I don't want them to be in the bloodline.
It's time to kill that.
Bloodline's dead.
The bloodline's dead.
Yeah. And let me see. Yeah, I'm wondering where Tama Tonga comes back. Whenever he comes back, does he join as well? That'd be cool. But I guess my main thing is I feel like I figured Solo was gonna win because of shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
I like you said, you predicted Jacob to win. I was like, I think Solo.
Right.
So, and then he did. But here's my main thing. This is kind of where I wanted to bring up my point about shit before, where it's just like the reason I call this pay-per-view like a 3 out of 5, and most pay-per-views or PLEs are 3 out of 5, is because they don't have any game-changing events.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I feel like maybe I'm misremembering it, but I feel like whenever I was coming up watching wrestling, when it was pay-per-view time, it was just like not every pay-per-view, but like most pay-per-views, you get some sort of debut, which you got a debut or a comeback or a heel turn or a face turn or a, just something, but we don't get any of that. Not even heel and face turns. It's just like, y'all have all these shows, but they all just feel the same.
Right.
To me, like nothing's happening. And then whenever you save like the important shit for the big shows, like you'd be like, all right, so such and such is about to turn. We're going to wait for Money in the Bank or SummerSlam. Or I feel like I used to watch wrestling. Motherfuckers would get jumped after the main event. After he won his match, he's celebrating in the ring.
Yeah.
Somebody come jump and it's like, oh shit, he back.
Yeah.
He back. He get jumped.
Yeah.
And it's just like, they don't like, that's why I'm like, these pay-per-views, they feel the same. There's no kind of like guesswork as to what's going to happen. As far as like, is there anything big going to happen? It's like, no, probably not.
Well, I mean,
probably not.
In this case, I mean, granted, devil's advocate, this match, there was a return of Tangaloa, his brother debuted.
So? Like, he came back and was just like, oh, okay, Tangaloa's back.
Right.
So? And then Hikuleo joined the fray. It's like, he's big as shit, so he looked cool.
Right, like, who's this big guy whose name they didn't even say? I think they're going to call him Atala Tonga or some shit like that. The match itself, it was entertaining as it could be. I think Solo tried his best to keep up. Solo hit a Uranagi on the apron and then on the floor. That was pretty cool. But then we went into Chinlock City. Good old
Chinlock City.
Chinlock City.
Not Suplex City, Chinlock City.
Then German suplexes.
I like seeing them. I don't know why, but I like seeing them do German suplexes. Both of them, because you don't see them do many German suplexes.
No, I think
either.
Yeah, I think Solo hit one that was like a full rotation. Jacob got up and then hit one of his own. Hit his implant DDT and the Swanton. Which I swear, every time he does that Swanton, he doesn't get a lot of air. I'm just waiting for him just to fall directly on his head, but he doesn't. But here comes Hikuleo. This dude is huge. Never had a huge dude in a long time. Now, I don't recall how good Hikuleo can wrestle. I think I've seen him on Dynamite a few times back in the day, like 3 years ago. So I'm not sure if he's any good now or how they're going to push him.
I don't think I've ever watched him.
Yeah, he was on Dynamite a few times, but he looks intimidating. See, that's why you should have kept the Braun Strowman to feud with someone that big. You know what I mean? Chokeslammed him onto the table. Solo hits the Samoan spike, and that's a wrap.
Jacob sold the fuck out of that spike.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you got Solo got a big squad around him, and then when Tama Tonga comes back, it'll all be complete. So here we go with the new faction, and I think they're going to have him protect him with that title for a while. Or maybe Jacob will get it back at SummerSlam. I assume there's going to be a rematch. And maybe
then Jimmy is involved somehow.
Yeah, I think Jimmy, Gold had predicted that Jimmy's going to have Fatu's back, but I don't think that's enough.
I would love to see Jimmy join Solo.
Really?
What else he doing?
Man, yeah, he ain't doing much of nothing right now.
Who was I talking to? I was like, it don't matter though. That motherfucker's won at life. He be having fine ass Naomi ass.
Right. Yeah, he's a winner in life. He ain't got to win in the ring. But he's definitely a winner.
She be posting these pictures on Twitter, and she be like, "This for Big Jim." I be like, "Yo,
shout out,
he won.
Shout out to Big Jim.
He won." She posted a gif of some move she did with a butt. And she was like, I call this the Big Jim special. I was like, oh, yeah. I love this.
I love
Yeah,
them.
he should be healed just like his wife.
I mean, why not?
Honestly, which I really don't understand. I don't understand why they don't have like some of these real life couples interact on screen and be each other's like cheering squad and helpers and stuff like that. It's not like they got to interfere all the time, but like, why wouldn't Jimmy come to the ring with Naomi and be like, and then talk shit to the crowd? That's your wife.
Yeah, I guess it's just the parallel story. I guess, right? They're still trying to get Jimmy some shine because right now, Jey Uso is just like stratospheres ahead at the moment. Right,
and there's nothing you can do to get him some shine. You might as well let him shine with his like what like really like you tried him as a singles wrestler like and then like it's just not working. So it's just like when people come to the ring they go Jimmy.
Yeah, they haven't given him any cool music yet. They haven't given him a singles title. Like probably the best thing for him would be to get back into tag title mix with his brother, but his brother's too high.
Put it this way, you're going to dampen Jay's shine just so Jimmy can be like, oh, yeah, at least I'm doing something again. Right. You might as well put him in Naomi's corner. Let him be her corner man. I'm so serious. It doesn't hurt him to be her in her corner. He can still have his own feuds with other people. She can be in his corner as well. Like, I would love, like, it was a terrible terrible gimmick. But whenever Maria and Mike Canales were together, they were a couple and they're together. They were there together, even like Karrion and Scarlett Kross. Like they can be together on screen. It doesn't mean that you can't do nothing else. But I mean, honestly, it does kind of with WWE mean that. But it's like just be inventive with what you do. Like you can do some stuff with them together as a couple.
Oh, definitely. I mean, definitely. Like, I just think if one is a heel and one is a face, that's where it gets blurry.
Jimmy turn Jimmy heel again.
I guess it doesn't really matter.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like people don't give a fuck about him either way. He might as well get the heat for being with.
Might as well get the heat. Yeah, might as well.
They could be on some Edge and Lita like kissing in public, making it awkward type shit. Yeah. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
like,
that's a good idea.
Yeah, like if he's not doing anything else, really, it's just like I don't know if they want to do anything like that. Even like I'm talking about like Naomi and Jimmy together anyway. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I'm just like, why? Just try shit.
Right.
Like people know y'all are married.
Right.
Just be like, well, I stand by my wife. Mm-hmm. If fuck Jade, fuck Jade. You know, my wife stand by me. And she'd be like, fuck Jay. And then it's like not even like Jimmy and Jay don't even got a beef. They can still be like, yeah, we squash or we strash. But since you over here being a superstar, I'm over here making my own way. And what my own way is what me and my wife doing. Like, boom. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm stupid.
No. I mean, there's ways to do it. Like they don't have Montez and Bianca doing anything on screen, at least not since the pandemic. But they were also fresh to the roster during then. So
right. But I'm saying though, when Bianca, I've always imagined like they could be so good together as a heel tandem on screen. Bianca and Montez, like I wouldn't even want them being like, cause I get it why they don't like, they talk about how they're married on camera and stuff. And we understand this, but I get why they're not together now. It's like, cause as faces, you'd be like, I want to stand alone. Like Bianca's like, I want to stand alone. Mm-hmm. Montez is like, I'm in the tag team. Me and him going to do this thing. Mm-hmm. But if they both turn heel and then just started beefing with people, but be like together, like we're on screen, like, I wouldn't mind if like why wouldn't Bianca come to the ring with Montez?
I mean, hey, Dom was coming out for live matches and Rhea matches and vice versa.
And he's still beefing with his own people.
Right.
And then Rhea and Liv will talk shit to whoever he beefing with and vice versa. Say shit about them being a couple, making it weird. I don't know. I feel like it works. If you're in a couple in real life, you might as well like lean into it.
I mean, Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae are doing it. I mean, it's just, I think as an individual, they still got to have their own things going on. As long as they got their own things going on. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying don't have your own things going on. I know I totally agree. Have your own thing going on. Don't just be like, I just follow my significant other around like a puppy or whatever. Right. I'm saying have your thing going on, but this is my girl and she gonna help me, get over on you motherfuckers. Like that's the way I like it. Like that's the way.
I could see work that way. If they were smart with it, they could do a lot of good backstage interaction. A lot of
I gotta fight this dude because he said something rude about my girl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. See, that's a good storyline. That's a good storyline for a heel right there. The heel male. His girl keeps getting him in all these damn fights. And then, you know what I'm saying? That's a story right there.
Yes.
I'm with you on that. In regards to Jacob, is he going to stand alone still, or do you think he's going to recruit some backup outside of Jimmy? You think maybe Roman?
It'll just be him and Jimmy getting beat up by these four for a while.
Get your ass out of here, Jack Perry.
Because WWE doesn't do anything really original. I always said, I hope they surprise me, but right now I don't have a bunch of, I don't have the highest hopes for creative and what they'll do with them.
I think if Roman ain't got nothing to do, I think they should pair him up with Jacob, or at least some bloodline rules type action. I think a gimmick match is coming. I think Jacob is going to be out for blood, and he going to hit that pop-up Samoan drop on Hikuleo. All right, but yeah, decent match. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. And yeah, Solo wrestles like he's 6'7". And I think that's the problem.
See, he used to wrestle faster, but I think what happened, there was some point where he was doing too much with Roman, and that was how Roman matches would go.
Right.
Remember, he was tagging with Roman and shit, and they would just go do these slow plotting matches, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's what I need to be doing. That's what WWE like." And it's like, no, you undercard, man.
Right.
You got to be more entertaining than this.
Right. Or at least just put some pep in your step, put some speed in it. I think of that tribal combat match between Uso and Jey Uso and Roman at that SummerSlam. It was just a really long, boring match. They could have cut 7 minutes out of that with them just plotting around, mainly Roman. And that's a no disqualification. How's a no disqualification match born? Go figure. Go figure. They got to work on that. That plot. I understand you got to get the heat, but there's other ways to do it.
Honestly, I hope I'm right about this. I think what's going to eventually happen is one day I do feel like the style will change. Like they're gonna people are going to look at AEW, not completely just be like, oh yeah, we got to go through a fast-paced style like this. Not completely, but I feel like motherfuckers got to be like, because even NXT does like a faster-paced style match.
There you go. NXT is like night and day in terms of like the programming. It's fast, it's quick, it's action-packed. The crowd is live. You don't see almost none of that slow plotting pace. It is. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. And it's still not as quick as AEW, but it's way quicker than the main roster product.
Right. You can wrestle faster and still tell that type of story, or the type of story you would normally tell. It's just sometimes it's just like, what is all this standing around? Like, I get you want to taunt the crowd, especially if you're heel. Y'all can't taunt the crowd, but then get back to work. Like, let's go.
Right. That's why their multi-man matches are so fun in WWE, because you got to push the action when there's another dance partner in there. And tag team matches as well. The Money in the Bank tag match, they spent a long time getting the heat on Jey Uso, but that was just old school. So when that hot tag finally happened, the match took off. But that was like 10 to 15 minutes of some really slow shit. So,
but it's also the at the same time, it's that fucking problem that they have with having only like 5 to 6 matches on a PLE.
Yep.
It's like they want to have like these fucking 20-minute long matches or 15-minute long matches and shit. And it's just like, but you have like 5-minute long entrances. And so now you're trying to fill like a 30-minute block with one match. That's why I like AEW. AEW be like, this video package is about a minute. You got like a minute to get to the ring. You wrestling like your ass off for like 12 minutes. And then we go into the next thing.
Yep.
There's no bunch of fucking ads.
Nope.
No random video packages. It's just, we here for the action.
For the action. That's why I can't wait till All In. Only 2 weeks.
All In is going to be fantastic.
All In is going to be crazy. Let's get into the Queen of the Ring finals. Jade Cargill versus Asuka. And this was a pretty predictable, safe bet as well in terms of the victor. But Jade came out looking kind of cool, dressed like Storm, had the white contacts on and whatnot. And she tried. I was thinking that Asuka was going to carry her to a decent match at least. Roxanne Perez did as good as she could do on that Raw semifinal. And shout out to Roxanne Perez because she's so damn good. So they tried to chop the tree down on this one too, with Asuka trying to work the leg. Probably the best thing you can do, being that they don't both move at the same speed. But the match itself just really wasn't that great. I mean, Jade hit a German, she hit a spine buster, she hit a fall-away slam, she had a super kick, she had a choke slam. The crowd was definitely more behind Asuka and not so much behind Jade.
I think the problem is the fact that Asuka just came back from her like year-long hiatus. People were definitely behind her, and then like she's a fan favorite.
Yeah.
So the fact that they made this the finals, knowing that they wanted to crown Jade, it was weird. Like, it shouldn't have been Asuka. It probably should have been somebody else.
Like Alexa Bliss?
Somebody that people were... No. Because she's a crowd favorite. I would say somebody that people don't want to see win. Trying to think of some... Maybe if it was like...
Chelsea Green?
That type of person, not necessarily her, but yeah, like just somebody that people are cool with losing match, or not cool with losing match, because you obviously want to be like a high profile match. I'm trying to think of somebody that feels high profile that she could have beat, but like, but yeah, it was just like, even like if it was Nia Jax,
yeah,
people would have been like, okay, I'm going for Jade. And if anything, I know for me, as much as I like Jade, she doesn't work that well.
She doesn't.
And yeah, it's hard for me to be like, because like you said, Asuka was even wrestling Jade. I was like, Asuka's so damn good.
Yeah,
everything she was doing was like phenomenal, and it was just like, she should win. But then I knew she wasn't gonna win.
Right.
So it's just a weird thing. So like I said, they were pro Asuka because, like I said, she just came back from Jade beat the wrong person.
Yeah, that's probably what.
But
it
I
was.
understand what they were doing because they wanted to make Jade's win feel legit.
Yeah, like beating a former world champion in this tournament,
right?
You know, get a solidified pin. It's just that, I don't know, maybe this match, had it been done in the States, might have got a better reaction.
That's what I also thought. I thought I was like, the fact that she won in Saudi was not like, that didn't help her either.
No, Asuka went for her hip attack. Jade caught her in the midair and hit that, the Jaded, got the pin, and she got on the mic with Byron Saxton and said, hey, you got to stay on your grind and don't let people tell you who you are and fight through the boos. And I was like, okay, what do you mean fight through the boos? What are you talking about?
Because I wouldn't be surprised if there's some internet discourse about like who and what she is.
Right.
And that because, even though we might not see it or hear it, it's almost like pro athletes. A lot of pro athletes be like, yeah, I did it because of all the haters and shit like that. It's just like, who's hating you? But there's always somebody hating you on the internet. Somebody on the internet is always talking shit.
Yeah.
So there's probably a pocket. As much as she gets cheered in the States there, it's probably the real wrestling fans that are like, oh, she can't do this, she can't do that, which I kind of agree. Like I said, she's not the best worker, but I still like Jade because she is clearly a star.
Yeah, she's definitely a star.
She just exudes like
she has that
star.
She has the package. I think maybe because they're looking at her as maybe that she's getting this push based off her look alone.
She's Hulk Hogan.
Right.
And that's not a bad thing in terms of like, if you want to, Hulk Hogan got pushed because he looked like he just looked different. 6'5", jack, just like, you can't find this anywhere else. You're not going to find another Jade Cargill nowhere else.
No, we did.
She looks different.
Yeah.
She does stuff differently, and she's a star.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you gotta jump on it. Like, they just gotta find the right people to work with her. She probably needs to work on her selling and some of her timing. I think Becky Lynch would get a good match out of Jade.
Becky just has good matches.
Yeah.
But in fact, I think that's a great comparison. I don't think Becky is does the best. Like, her shit don't look the best.
It doesn't, but she knows how to tell her story. Her in-ring story, that is. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what Jade got to get better at, the storytelling part, because in AEW, she just dominated as the TBS champion. Quick wins, a pump kick, hit the Jade and be done. Didn't have to do much. But she also showed a lot of personality, just talking shit with the baddies and all that, right? So they need to just figure out how to get that package even better, because I think she's going to be great for the kids and other young women trying to get into the wrestling business. We got great women of color with Naomi and Bianca and Jade, with Lash Legend and Jada Parker, like
Kalani Jordan,
Roxanne Perez, she counts. Nia Jax, she counts.
Tyra May Steele, she was the female winner of Legends of Future Greats, LFG. Fantastic wrestler.
Really?
She had her match on NXT a few weeks back.
Mm.
I was like, oh, she got a future. The dude that won, Jasper Troy, big as fuck, had a great match with Overfemi like 2 weeks ago, and you should watch it. I would just say go find it. Overfemi, Jasper Troy.
Okay.
I was like, what am I about to watch here? I've never seen you. I was like, oh, okay. This dude is, he's kind of like, I was like, oh, this dude come out with chains. I was like, oh, he's lame. I was like, oh, this is big as hell. It was just.
What's his name?
Jasper Troy. Black dude.
I think I've seen him. Oh, yeah.
You may have seen him. But yeah, him and Overfemi had a great match.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's a big fella. Oh, okay. He's 6'5". He's from Texas. He's trained by Booker T.
He only 6'5". He feel bigger than that, but okay.
6'5". You know, it's big in this WWE big. He was born in 1999.
Because he's bigger than Ova, and I thought Ova was 6'5".
Yeah, exactly. Got him at 6'5", 340. All right, so Jade Cargill, Queen of the Ring, SummerSlam title shot. I'm assuming it's going to be Tiffany Stratton. Is this the moment where Jade actually gets her first title victory? Or does Naomi crash the party and she leaves out with the championship? What are you thinking?
It might be both. It might be one of those things where Jade wins for half a second and Tiffany comes in and takes it from her, or not Tiffany, or Naomi. Or Naomi may cash in, make a triple threat like they've done in the past. I think that's a stupid idea.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought making a match triple threat is stupid. You wait till the match is over, then you come blast him in the back of the head with the briefcase, and then you pin him.
Right.
That's what I would do.
Yes.
I'm not making my match triple threat where I could still lose.
Yeah.
Why? I'm gonna wait till y'all finish,
right,
and then fucking do it. But I think, like I said, I think both those briefcases will be cashed in probably SummerSlam-ish.
And both successful, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if Naomi's going to cash it in, it'll be a lot more heat to do it on Jade. But also that might depend on crowd sentiment by that point. Will some of the crowd reaction from Saudi carry back over into the States? We won't know until Friday if they do a coronation or whatnot. But I assume they're going to start planting the seeds now. And also on top of that, who's Jade going to face at Evolution? They don't even know what the fuck they're going to do at Evolution to begin with, but still. Sucks that it has to be that way.
And don't get me wrong, I love the idea of Evolution. I watched the first Evolution. I was excited about it. I'm excited about this Evolution. But like I said, there's so many shows. Like, it's hard to get excited about it. And the day before, you're having this big Saturday night's main event. And then barely a month afterwards, you're going to have a big SummerSlam. Right. It's like you just have it sandwiched in here, just like, oh, yeah, we're just doing it. And then it feels like y'all are just going to throw some matches on the card just to have them as placeholders for SummerSlam. That's what it feels like. But
yeah, I'm worried about how they're going to fill up 2 nights of SummerSlam. I am worried. We're going to watch this shit, but I'm just like, what are you going to do to make this have that feeling? Right now, we know we know what the presumed SmackDown title matches are going to be. Now we just got to figure out how do we get to the Raw title matches. CM Punk versus John Cena, which I would pretty say, we're talking about, Becky not being the most athletic and Jade, but still having good matches. CM Punk and John Cena, neither one I would rank high on the athletic spectrum. However, they both know how to tell stories and put together good matches, especially when it's between those two. Like, the crowd was pretty dead for Asuka and Jade, but they were alive. They were all the way woke the fuck back up for this match. Punk should never jump. Punk's heel kick gets no air. His elbow gets no air. When he tried to do that tope over the rope, he damn near fell on his head and hurt himself. The goons tried to choke slam him, barely got off the ground. Punk should just stick to gravity is his friend. No more jumping, Punk. No more jumping. Cena hit 3 attitude adjustments in this match. Punk hit a crossbody, and Cena caught him and hit him with the third AA. That crossbody didn't get no air either. When Cena went to grab the belt, which he's won every single title defense hitting somebody with the belt, either a nut shot in the belt or just the belt. He teased it, but decided against it and threw it away as if he had a conscience at that particular moment. And I was wondering, was that the first sign of the inevitable redemption arc? However, it didn't last long. Punk hit the GTS on him, and the ref was out. And now it's shenanigan time. Here comes Seth Rollins with the loud-ass music. The ref was knocked out the entire fucking time and missed all this shit. Because Seth Rollins came out, he had Bronson and Braun Breaker with him. Cena went and shoulder blocked the shit out of Charles Robinson, which I thought that was pretty good. Now, at this point, Cena and Punk, although they're not teaming together, they got a common enemy in the ring of Seth Rollins and his goons. Cena hit Seth with the AA. Then Braun and Bronson attacked Cena. And then here comes Penta on the entrance ramp doing all his hand signals and shit. Braun eventually came out there to fight with Penta. Penta ate a suplex on the entrance ramp. And then here comes Sammy in to even the odds just a little bit. So he starts brawling with Braun Breaker. Penta does a dive off of the entrance ramp onto both of them. And then when Bronson goes to the top rope to try to crush John Cena, which I thought he was going to do, I thought this might have been it. Bronson gets the tsunami, maybe Braun hits the spear on Cena, Seth gets the victory. Instead, Punk shoved Bronson off the top rope. Cena hit an attitude adjustment on Bronson Reed.
I was impressed.
I was very, very impressed by that.
Still strong.
I don't know if you watched their yin and yang video package of Punk and Cena. Did you see how big Cena used to be compared to now? It's like double the size, but he can still get up. Big Bronson Reed hit him with that AA. Impressive. So then Cena and Punk faced off after they got rid of all the Diastardly goons. Like, what type of moment were they having here where CM Punk was going to extend his hand in a handshake? What provoked you to do that?
They just wanted to tease John Cena going face. That's all. They were like, let's tease it. And he's still not going to do it.
Like maybe there's still some good in you, John Cena, since you didn't hit me with the belt and you helped me fight off the goons. Cena tried to do a sneak attack. It didn't work. Punk was ready for it, but Seth returned and hit him with the briefcase and a curb stomp. And then Cena tossed Seth out and stole the victory. Actually, let me rewind for a second. Cena did extend his hand to CM Punk and then did the Elimination Chamber face. I loved it.
It was a great face, by the way.
I loved it. Did the Elimination Chamber face. Then he tried to sneak attack. At that point, that's when Punk got hit with the briefcase and curb stomp. So Cena got the win. Still the undisputed champion. I thought the match was pretty fun. I would rank it as the number 2 match of the night. Do you think this match delivered? And what do you think is next?
Seth definitely goes back to CM Punk. They'll fight. I figured they'll probably fight at SummerSlam somehow. Even though I'm over it now. It's so crazy how I was anticipating it so much up until the Raw at the beginning of the year. And that was a great match. And then now they've interacted so much that I'm like, ugh.
So you're over it.
Okay. All right. And then it's almost like Seth could be smarter with it, because what if you let John Cena or CM Punk win the match, then go out there with your goons? What is this precedent that WWE has set where it's just it has to be in the middle of the match when you cash in? That never used to, what is it? What are you trying to do? What?
My biggest gripe is when they do this while the ref is out. And maybe if he came out with no music and no video screens, but not only did his music hit, Penta's music hit, Sammy's music hit, and the ref is still out, like Travis Scott's WrestleMania run-in or walk-in. At least just come out with the shit. Would the pop be any more or less if Seth Rollins just showed up at the top of the ramp with the briefcase?
They want that crowd reaction.
Right.
Because if he just runs out there with no music, then you gotta wait for people to notice. Right. You want everybody just react at one time.
Right.
Which I get why you do it, but at the same time, I'm with you. It's just sometimes you just gotta go attack.
Right. Or at least,
why are you telling everybody you want to attack?
Or at least if multiple people are coming out, only one person's music gets hit. I'm a ref, and you must have knocked me out completely concussed from that. What was it, a missed shoulder block maybe or something? That knocked me out the ring.
Block. Yeah.
And I missed the sound of the crowd popping for 3 different songs. And while I'm out, there's 8 motherfuckers doing shit around me. But they could have easily just done this shit after the match was over.
I was going to say, like, the match was, like you said, it was mostly good. But like you said, it was just like a useless, convoluted ending.
Yeah.
That brings down the match. Like, it was fun while it was happening, and then just to end the way it did, it was just like, well, you accomplished nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't like interference just for the sake of interference, and that's what that was. It's just, you just wanted to have a bunch of people show up, and it's like you accomplished nothing. So it was useless and stupid.
Yep. Out of 6 matches on a 6-card show, 3 of them had interference.
Okay, I'll go back. The street fight, Roxanne interfering, that makes sense because Roxanne's trying to get on Raquel's good side.
Makes perfect sense. And
I'll take that.
I'll take it.
And even though Rhea won. The U.S. title match, hey, Solo needed the interference to walk away with the belt.
Yep, I'll give him that.
Seth coming out makes sense because he wants to cash in.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I feel like it's stupid in the way, like, why would you, in the way he did it, it didn't make any sense. It was all useless just to have like people come out. Then now it's just, now you're losing the plot.
Yeah.
You just have people come out just to have people come out. Just be like, oh my God, this is so exciting.
Yeah.
Because that's where I was. I was like, oh shit. Like, people coming out like, what's about to happen? Then for John Cena just be like, I won anyway.
Yeah. I like the idea of the briefcase being that dangling X factor for every championship match. I do like that, but that's just how the Money in the Bank is. I think it's just it means a little bit more because Seth has it. He's in this new zone.
They could have had Cena win, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Seth Rollins come out being like, I'm about to cash in.
Mm-hmm.
And like Cena could have cheated to win.
Yep.
And then CM Punk still, because he hates Seth Rollins, still helped John Cena retain the title with the help of Penta and Sami Zayn just because he hates Seth Rollins. That still makes sense.
Yeah.
But the match is already over.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, it would have took away from that handshake moment, but they would have been fine without it. Or
because you had the whole thing where Cena threw the belt down when he was about to use it. Maybe he wins clean. Maybe this is where you start turning him back face. Maybe he wins clean.
Mm-hmm.
And then, CM Punk appreciates it. And that's why he helps Seth, or helps Cena fight off Seth and Bronson and Braun. Like, I don't know. It just got a lot of like, what are we doing this for?
Yeah. John Cena defeats CM Punk. Never seen 17. Dates are running out almost into single digits. Probably him versus Cody at SummerSlam. Hopefully no Travis Scott with the looming Seth Rollins peeking over. Now Seth has to tease a cash in on Gunther and Goldberg.
Yeah.
Got to even it up a little bit. And on top of that, that match might need it. That match might need that tease. Now that I think about it. So
yeah.
So we shall see. But show 3 out of 5. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was just fine.
It did what it did.
So Nick, you want to go ahead and plug what you're doing on Twitch?
I stream video games right now just to get used to streaming. So come join me on twitch.tv/NickAtrocious. That's NIKATROCIOUS. Come join me, have fun, talk some shit. Watch me get fucked up because I'll be losing. But it's cool. It's all fun.
There you go.
I just have fun. Like, I'm just trying to entertain y'all.
Yeah, man. Twitch.tv/NickAtrocious. Make sure you go to hiphopandwrestling.com to get your Lucha t-shirts and the Hip Hop Boombox, the OG Boombox. See that t-shirt that Nick got on right there? Hiphopandwrestling.com is where you can get the Hip Hop and Wrestling merchandise similar to the shirt that Nick has on right now. Make sure you check out twitch.tv/NickAtrocious to watch him stream every Saturday. And hopefully in a few months, we're going to do our own little watch along with our supporters. Maybe we can test it out with SummerSlam. I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see.
Right now, you're checking out the SOP.
Hip hop and wrestling.